As you know, if you play console gaming, Microsoft has had a little bit of a misstep when they got a little, tipsy, and they're thinking up some good ideas, and they're like, "Oh, damn! Like if we throw in a peripheral for $100 more, we're gonna be big ballers." But that didn't end up too well. And when Phil Spencer walked up in the club, he said shit straight. So today we're going to be talking about 3 things I think that they could be doing to keep going. I mean, really, they're in the right direction. So here we go. Number 1. Microsoft, having repented their sins, needs to get back on track and stick to message like they've been doing in the last couple gaming conferences. They've been straight on point. Phil Spencer's laid it out like a fat line of coke. It's just straight to the brain, straight to the point. They need to continue using this momentum and just stick to the gaming that they have so much talked about. And that was the focus that they left behind at the beginning. I think they just had trouble associating with what people wanted in the current market, because before, like, still the highest selling video game, I think, is like the Kinect game from the original Kinect, and I think that's really what set them in that direction, because they were like, oh well, this is what people want. But it was really because they liked the choice, and they're giving us the choice as a gamer to be able to experience these different experiences. They're gonna, if they just need more people like Phil Spencer, obviously, who is really like one of the most inspirational people that could, and relatable CEO of a division of a company that I've ever seen. I mean, he's killing it up on stage. His presence everywhere is felt. He'll respond to little comments on Twitter. He does pretty much the job of like a lot of people, but he's a CEO and he's a bajillionaire. He's all about the company and moving forward now that they're behind, and they have a lot of momentum considering their good showings recently. And we'll even see, I think, Tokyo Game Show, they might have a bigger presence, even though it's definitely Sony's turf. Number 2. Just like the first one, Microsoft's really already pretty much grasped this concept of they need to talk more about how they're the superior multiplayer platform to be playing on, and the social aspect of the whole Xbox Live. They've always been the innovator of party chat, with friends list, the social features. Like, now you can like have a feed. It's basically like a Twitter feed with videos, and you can post statuses and all this crap. It's basically like they always are innovating the social features, and they continue to with the updates. They have monthly updates, and they are always listening to feedback, and that seems to be the biggest thing that Xbox Live has a huge advantage over, is the social, the being in clans, being with your friends. That's what the consoles are all about. That's why I was always so appealed to play on a console, because of how easy it was to connect with friends, just straight game and not have anything else to worry about. That's why I've always loved Xbox, and that's why Sony was never, when I played Sony consoles, PlayStation 1 and 2, it was always about the single player, always about that, and there was like online was alright. And I realized that when I was playing the PS3, it wasn't so much so. It was more like, oh, I'll join with random people, and no one will talk to me and whatnot. It was more like that, and so that's when I switched over to Xbox, and I just never went back. I switched over a while ago, bet you. They're also doing a good job with their exclusives. That's what they always stick to, like the Halos. I'm not even really into racing games, but I think Forza Horizon 2 looks amazing, because you can have huge driving clubs. It's super social. You can play with your friends' drivatars. It's like really about like being with other people and exploring the land in some sweet ass cars, and just having fun. It's about just having that experience, that togetherness with other people. And That's what I always liked about Xbox. Their old motto was like jump in or whatever, and that's how I always felt. It was just you jump in to like a jump rope game, and you're just working together to not get fucked up. Number 3 way. Xbox has always been looked upon as a shooter console. Everyone thinks that, oh, well, you just play it for the shooters and the crappy storyline and the multiplayer only aspect. And you know, now that Phil Spencer's in charge, now that there's some good people higher up, they're getting exclusivity on good games, and they're branching away from that, like creative, crazy games like Sunset Overdrive, which they funded and helped out immensely with. You know, you would have never seen that, I think, from a 360 Microsoft or an OG Xbox Microsoft. They were more focused on either their American customers or their overseas Japanese ports. You know, that seemed to be their main focus. They seemed to just be where the money was, not where the general consensus was, because as long as they made a profit, it seemed like they would just go for it. But now that they have the headspace and the capabilities of producing such great titles, having first party and third party, you know, publishers on their side, because they make great working relationships with them through their business context and through being professional and courteous with them. You know, they don't just narrow out one of each genre and then just fill in the blanks, you know, to get the most mass money. It seems, I mean, obviously they're there for the money, and obviously, you know, it's not, I mean, they are a corporation. Obviously, they're not the most beautiful people on earth. I mean, except Phil Spencer. He's my baby, baby, baby. Woo! All weird, creepy, dumb shit aside, Microsoft, they're playing it safe, but they're throwing out some curveballs, and eventually they're gonna start striking out, and they're gonna just keep striking out. And I think that when they start, you know, sending those Yoshida drones home back to the, you know, to the mass production shop to start dumping out some, you know, crappy indie games by the buttload, then, you know, Sony's gonna have to come up with something original for once and start thinking not out of, you know, the magical hat that they seem to pull all their little dirty tricks out of, you know. That's the end of my video, and remember, kids, touching cows is wrong unless you're using your fist.